In this video, I'm going to be installing a new smart lock from Schlage. It's called the Schlage Smart Lock. And this is a touchscreen lock that's Wi-Fi connected, so you could also use your phone. It has a traditional lock and a key. Makes it super easy to lock from the inside, but multiple ways to unlock it from the outside. So in this video, I'm going to show you tips and tricks on how you can install it, especially if things don't line up. I got a handy trick to use with some tape on how you can get that strike plate and the deadbolt aligned perfectly. So get your Phillips screwdrivers ready because we're doing an install. So here's everything you get with the Schlage Encode. Of course, you get the exterior and the interior parts of the lock itself. And you'll notice that it does have that key and lock key. So it does come with an included key inside the bag for that. So it really gives you the best of both worlds of the smart lock and a traditional key lock. There's the deadbolt, and that's what I really like about this lock is that it is a deadbolt, so it gives you the ultimate protection. You have your quick start guide and also a pamphlet to ask for questions if you do run into any issues. Here's the door that I'm going to be installing it in. It's actually my parents' house. This lock has been here forever, ever since I was a kid. And so I'm going to be doing a replacement on the top part of the deadbolt with the Schlage Encode. Hopefully that should make it more convenient for all the different family members that come and go inside this house. And so here's the interior of that deadbolt and what it looks like. I removed everything, and the first step is really to put the new deadbolt in from the Encode. And I'm screwing everything in, and at this point you want to make sure that it aligns with the strike plate on the door frame. And because this was I'm replacing a Schlage lock with a new one, I was hoping that that strike plate and the deadbolt would align. However, it didn't. So I had to take the strike plate off, and now I need to find out exactly where that deadbolt is going to hit inside the door frame. And here's a trick that I saw online that works great. You take this metallic tape. Maybe duct tape might work, but this is a metallic tape, and then I'm going to close the door, turn the deadbolt with a flathead screwdriver, and what that's going to do is make an indentation inside that tape, and it tells you exactly where the strike plate needs to be, because once you grab the strike plate, you can align it to make sure that that middle part of where that indentation is perfectly in center. From there, you mark it on the tape exactly where the strike plate needs to be, and if you have to cut it out, you can to make it fully aligned, and that's what I did to make it line up to the frame. Then I just have to install the exterior part of the lock and make sure that it's lined. This was a really tight fit, so I really had to push it in, and then I wanted to make sure that I lined it nice and straight. Then on the interior part, I had to connect the power line from one side to the other side, and then kind of nicely wrap it in, align it into that deadbolt, make sure that it goes the right way. And then from there, it's pretty simple. You know, if everything works out, you should have this installed within 10 or 15 minutes. From there, once everything's kind of fitting, I take off that cover to expose the screws, and then I just basically have to screw it in. And when you do this, you know, my advice is to get like a level to make sure that everything is straight. I think I eyeballed this. I probably did a pretty good job because I've done a lot of these, but you know, you can screw one side and then you kind of adjust it from there. And that's what I did to kind of align everything. So you can see it's all installed now, both on the interior and the exterior. And it worked perfectly inside the door, so there was no kind of friction. Because this is a mechanical lock, you want to make sure that it does lock and unlock quite smoothly. And so you just press that one button to lock the door. You get that check mark that verifies that everything has been locked. And then you can also do that inside the Schlage app. I set it up, and you get a history of all the people that have come in and out, because within my family, I assigned everybody their own PIN code who uses that lock, and they loved it because everyone has their own personal PIN code. But in the app, you can then track the history of this, and this is really good if you using this lock at a short-term rental place like a Airbnb. That's going to be very valuable for you when you're using this lock. So if you go into the settings, there's a lot of customizations that you can do with this lock from there, but you also have the ability to create, PIN codes directly inside the app itself. You can also connect it to your Wi-Fi network to lock and unlock remotely. And that's what I like about this, is that there's no hub required. I didn't have to connect a hub to my router. It was able to connect. However, the connection was a little weak for my parents' house, so I should improve that. But if you are in the market for a smart lock, I highly recommend you check this one out. Schlage Encode. My parents love this. I'm like a hero now because I really made their lives easier. Plus with the key, I'm going to put a lockbox just on the side as a backup if those batteries were to ever die, but they give you plenty of notification to replace those batteries. So this is just a really convenient, lock to have in a modern day home. Well, I hope you enjoyed this review of the Schlage Encode Smart Lock. If you did, like, subscribe, leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. I'm Andy Baryer, Handy Andy from handyandymedia.com. See you again next time.